understanding the role and function of academic freedom is often misunderstood by society, government, and even among academics. I don't think we have a unified definition of what academic freedom means. The society has often interpreted academic freedom as a bourgeoisie ivory tower privilege which grants special status to academics over the masses. But that is certainly not what academic freedom means. To the state, most often academic freedom is seen as a privilege that is unduly applied by the university to make government unpopular and the state ungovernable. Sometimes we've been accused of these things. That is also a clear misunderstanding of what academic freedom means. To the university, academic freedom is sometimes applied as an unlimited freedom with no accompanying responsibilities, which therefore authorizes them to be unreasonable in their demands. Yet still, for others, academic freedom is often connected to labor rights issues and only raised when it comes to the demand for better working conditions, in particular, book and research allowance, for example. But that still is not an adequate representation of what academic freedom means. Yet, academic freedom is broader and goes beyond these understandings, or may not be what it is to all of the above groups mentioned. It is for this reason that in the wisdom of the framers of the 1992 Constitution, for the first time in the constitutional history of our republic, academic freedom was guaranteed in the Constitution as one of the hallowed rights. It is therefore unfortunate, but I must state that in 2018 thereabout, the previous regime sought to muscle academic freedom by their attempt to enact what we describe as the infamous Public Universities Act by presenting a bill that they sought to be passed into law. I'm sure many colleagues here in gathered know how actively we fought collectively and how, as a member of the then opposition and a member of the Education Committee of Parliament, I took the side of academics to oppose this bill as having the propensity to violate various aspects of academic freedom which previous governments, even including military regimes, sought to protect and to promote. And I must say we fought a good fight. Had it not been for the coalition of academics and politicians, civil society organizations, and well-meaning Ghanaians, including some traditional leaders, I believe this atrocity may have seen the light of day. So the fight to protect academic freedom invariably is a collective fight. It's a collective responsibility. We ought not to leave that to only academics who are on the campuses of our various academic institutions.
I think that one of the problems confronting academic freedom and issues around academic freedom in our universities and institutions of higher learning is that there is no course within which academic freedom is taught. So you can't become a professor of academic freedom. So it's not even a subject that is discussed in the universities as a part of any discipline. Or maybe I should say that is discussable. So, and with that, I should again draw attention to Professor Abos's excellent keynote. I would myself go back to it again and again, because I think I haven't quite heard anyone speak like that about academic freedom. Thank you very much, and we should proceed with this idea. I'm trying to decide which side to cut from. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Defending academic freedom, fostering democratic culture, building Africa's tomorrow. I think it's the same thing on the big board there.
Our website, and it's one thing we've been working on to make our mission more accessible and impactful. And I'm going to walk you through a few sections. Let me just put it across that our website is still a work in progress, because we are looking to add more features as we go on. So before I run you through the sections like I mentioned, let's take a quick scenario. So we have a professor in, say, Kenya or Tanzania, whose work is being threatened, probably due to certain circumstances. Let's assume he lent his voice to a cause in his country, and as a result, his work is being threatened. We can all agree that this professor needs urgent support, but he may not be sure where to turn because his options are limited, and he may not have the information he needs. So that is exactly why we put up this website, so that this professor and many others like him will have access to the right information and the support they need in situations like this. So the whole idea of the website is to make it a hub where scholars like this professor I mentioned can find information, opportunities, and connections they need in just a few clicks. So a couple of sections. I'll start, well, we have the homepage, which is like the central parts of the website. And Daniel, please, let's go to the team. Yes, so the administrative staff, ACAP is run by 3 members. I like to say Prof and his girls. It's just Professor Tia, Ellie, and then myself. So we are the administrative staff. And then for the board members, ACAP is led by very seasoned professors. We are privileged to have 2 of them in our midst. Let me take the opportunity to acknowledge them. So Professor Alumako Ampofo is here. And then also Dr. Chika Mba is here. He helped us with the unveiling earlier. We have others. Okay, so Dr. Michael Augustus Akabo, Ms. Efia Santua Asarichi, Professor Tia himself, and Professor Divine. We have others whose images are not here yet as well. So these are the members of the governing board. And then we also have, let's look at the monitoring section. Okay, so the monitoring section is supposed to basically help us monitor incidents or attacks on academic freedom. And these attacks come in various forms. So there are killings, there's violence, there are disappearances, there's persecution, there's loss of position, there's imprisonment, and all of that. It's amazing when we talk about the figures because people think that maybe just 1 or 2. But according to the reports, the Free to Think reports generated by Scholars at Risk, we saw over 300 cases of attacks on academic freedom last year. And so Ours is going to focus on attacks in Africa precisely. Scholars at Risk, that's global monitoring, but ours is going to focus on Africa.
Is that has come with closing of civic spaces. In some places, actually closed civic spaces. The attack on speech, rights of assembly, association, movement, and a lot of civil society actors, a lot of collaborators and friends who have been abducted in the middle of the night or, disappeared. All kinds of violations of human rights that have happened. And we've had an opportunity to have to host people in emergency situations, fleeing their countries. So this was very easy for us because we know that academics, often activists themselves, fall into that category. So it's just basically an expansion of what we are already committed to. So really happy to see the turnout, many friends, collaborators here, and I'm hoping that this is a bigger conversation, not just for academics, for us to look at that particular subject. I really like what Professor Bochi, delivered here. It was very provocative in terms of, scope, how to respond, the nuances of our own Ghanaian context and so on. So I really have enjoyed, and I think that is the beginning of the conversation. But it's also to remind academics that they and the society, or those of us all in the civic space, we are all in the same boat because we are all part of the public. And our rights, we want, if we want to secure our rights and promote our rights, then we need to work together. So it's a real pleasure, and congratulations again to ISEF for the launch.